Welcome, fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Make some noise in that live chat. Pump the likes, the pump, the stream. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we're in the 39,000 range, family. A great time. The BTFD. We'll also be discussing the latest updates from Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, as well as Trump will never allow CBDCs and gives full credit to Vivek Ramaswamy. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as Bitcoin ETFs post 76 million in net outflows on a bad 7th day of trading. Also, FTX estate sold most of its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares, tanking the market. So Bankman-Fried continues tanking the Bitcoin price by suppressing the Bitcoin price action from a jail cell. It's interesting how this works. Also in today's show, I'll be sharing 3 bull market narratives for 2024 that you haven't heard about yet, as well as Bitcoin setting up for a price explosion to $120,000 per coin as per analytics firm Glassnode. Also, happy birthday to the high priest of Bitcoin, the one and only Max Keiser. I greatly appreciate this man. I'll be breaking down his 1 million Bitcoin price prediction, as well as the latest from the high priest. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, family. Another live stream brought to you by JV. What it do? Make some noise in that chat. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. Always appreciate the family. Shout out to Sandman. Shout out to Fantasy, a roll. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Loud and clear, boss man. Shout out to Dankness. Always an honor. Family. Jennifer in the building. What it do? Bankrupt SBF haunts us. For real, for real. Huzzar. No exaggeration. Dub proof. Big ups, family. Cheers. Daps. And all that good stuff. Stacking sats. Love to hear that. How many of you are taking advantage of this dip? Holla at your boy. I shared the other day, we could potentially touch 38,000, and it looks like we're heading that ways. Hopefully we get a strong bounce and then rise back on up. But let me know your thoughts, fam. Hey, fam. What up, James Elsie? Good to see you, family. Fishy SBF is haunting us. I hope we hit 15 again, but we won't. Nah, yeah, heck no. But yeah, I mean, a great advantage to buy some more sats on the low for show. Loud and clear and smooth. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate you. DCA every day. That's what's up. Cracked knee. Loud and clear, says Huddle Mike. Cheers. Errol, the stream is perfect in the Netherlands. Music to my ears. Some people said it was choppy yesterday, so I'm happy it's streaming good. Strong buy, amazing. Yeah, hell yeah. At these prices, knowing the institutions are all on board and knowing we have a halving now like 80-something days away, bring it. What up, Bubba Frew? McLovin in the building. Shout out to Mark. Good to see the fam. Live, let's go. That's right, we live each and every day. Shout out to Cherry Young. Appreciate your support, family. I'm mortgaging my life, says Misha Wright. You got to do what you got to do to stack them biddies. What up, Barack Monfils Evangelista, always a pleasure, family. Buying now, actually, that's what's up. Love to hear that, Steve. Do your thing. Good morning, JB. Good morning, Serge. Good afternoon, fam, and good evening. Rather than going back down and bounce hard, I think we'll keep climbing progressively from 39. And once 40,005 breaks, we might fly up to 46, 48. I think that'll be obviously happening as soon as we get that bounce. Stream 100% here in New York City. Can you say New York City? The dip before the dip. Let's go. CNA, big fan. Don't we can. That is normal. That's right. Shout out to my long-term hodlers and diamond hands. You already know. 100%. Told the person on the phone to hurry up. I'm missing my show. Appreciate that, Ghost Stomper. It's you guys that make the show amazing. Extremely risky to sell at this price now. Yeah. The truck is back up again. Buying. You already know. Loud and clear. Jersey in the house. Shout out Joe Valdez. Appreciate it, family. It's your opportunity, family, to buy before they take it from you. You already know. There's a strong possibility that the powers that be confiscate the Bitcoin ETF BTC. Never know what to expect from, you know what I mean? Those guys. All good in Costa Rica. Pura Vida family. I used to live in Costa Rica for a few years. I've lived in near Jaco Beach in, what's that resort right nearby? Man, slipped my mind. Punta Leona. White sand beaches, beautiful, epic resort living lifestyle. Also, I lived in Guanacaste province, which is north of North Costa Rica, just south of Nicaragua. And I lived in Cocoa Beach. It was pretty lit there as well. I had a blast in Costa Rica. The thing I miss the most are the fresh coconuts. You can just walk down the street and there's always vendors even on the beaches, everywhere. You get a fresh coconut, nothing like fresh coconuts. I think they'll take the dip down to 20,000. There's no second best. Crypto News Alert is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And speaking of Sailor.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number 1. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Tell them. That's KRS-One channeling Bitcoin back in 1997. Take that. He's probably remembering the woman, not the resort. You're awesome, Dankness. Remember a week ago I said 38,000. We hear opportunity is here. You did surge. So much respect, family. Buying the dip, says Skunk. That's what's up. You got to buy the dip. But anyways, today's show is not going to be like a 2-hour stream. I got to pick up my daughter in a little bit. So let's get right into it. Anyways, if you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Also important to smash the like, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Also, hit that bell icon. Turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when I actually go live. Today is pod episode number 1531. I'm your host, JV, and today is January 23rd, 2023. We dropped below 40,000. In fact, we're barely holding on to 39,000, as you can see the price action right here on your screen. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. Bitcoin's down 3.5%. For the day. How low do you think she's likely to go? Let me know. We also have ETH down 7%, altcoins bleeding like a mofo. And zooming out on the monthly, get a broader perspective. Bitcoin down now 11% on the month. We have Ether down 5%. BNB, one of the rare ones in the green, up 9%, while Solana, massive bloodbath, along with Cardano and XRP. And checking out the coin market cap. The market cap has been on the decline, now all the way down to 1.52 trillion. Wow, we were just getting close to 2 trillion again, for Christ's sake. But anyways, we can blame Bankman-Fried for that. You'll see what I'm talking about later. 24-hour volume, 77 billion. The volume is up roughly 50%. Bitcoin dominance back on the climb as the alts bleed, which is pretty typical. Now it's 50.2%. 50%, or I guess it's called a 51% attack on the alts. Let's go. So close. We have Ether at 17.4%, pulling back and on the decline. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got Blur, Sue, Chiliz, and Akash. Below that, Flare, Sia Coin, and FTT. How is FTT ever in the green? Blows my mind. But there you have it. I mean, this industry is run by fraudsters, hucksters, as Gensler would say. But anyways, which altcoins are you bullish on? Holla at you, boy. And checking out crypto bubbles, you can see a visual perspective. The altcoins taking a bleeding on the day. You know, when Bitcoin is dumping, that the altcoins get wrecked the most. So that's what we're witnessing right now. Virtually everything in the red, minus just a handful. And zooming out on the monthly, a lot still in the bloody red, for Christ's sake. So you took all this time to get all those green accumulations decimated just like that from one crash. Crazy how the altcoin market works. But anyways, checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're dead in the middle a little. Little did we know that we riddle some middlemen who didn't do diddly. Shout out to Big Pun, one of my favorite MCs growing up. Epic quote. But anyways, we're currently dead in the middle with a 50 neutral. Yesterday, 55 greed. Last week, 64. And last month is 71 in greed. And here's a new indicator. The Bitcoin halving clock, folks. We're at 85 days, 20 hours, 46 minutes, 32 seconds, and milliseconds away from the halving. You already know things are about to get lit. Less than 3 months out, the biggest event for the past 4 years in Bitcoin. So anyone selling right now, in my mind, crazy. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know. And let me check the chat. Welcome everyone just joining the stream. 39 barely holding on by a thread right now. I think 38 is likely the next bottom target. We'll see if we can bounce back and recapture 40 and onwards and upwards from there. Welcome, J-Dub. I heard the dumbest argument today. They say Satoshi's wallet is now active and Satoshi is going to do the largest rug pull ever. Oh my God. Yeah, we've heard this before. Jamie Dimon is saying something like, Satoshi's going to come back and increase the supply, as if it's not written in the code and it can't be changed. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I'm here too, kind of busy at the fiat mine through. You got to do what you got to do, make love and cheers. Why you look like a Goodfellas character in that picture, Phil? Hey, where my Goodfellas at? Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. I think he passed. Correct me if I'm wrong. The one that played Henry. Man, that was a classic movie, bringing back memories. Never trade your Bitcoin for dollars, but sell for US dollars. Oh, hell no. I mean, why would you want the dollars? I mean, anything beyond paying bills, I mean, what use case does a dollar have? Definitely not savings technology. You're just going to lose via the melting ice cube theory. I was just going to say it looks a little familiar, but it is so small. I'm going to jump out my window. Luckily, I have a one story. Thomas. Miners are slowly recovering. Bitcoin will follow 100%. I think the GBTC massive dump from the FTX estate is over. And this is a result of that dump off, family. Why would Satoshi make the hardest money invented and then sell it for US dollars? Exactly, J-Dub. FTX strikes again. It's fine. Stack more sats while you can before the halving. Yeah, look at it as a blessing. Last opportunity to buy Bitcoin sub 40,000. So if you had any dry powder on the sidelines, implement it. Let's go. What happens when there is no more apples? We eat oranges? Buy opportunities at these prices. The money is coming. Amen, Rudy. Well said, fam. 100%. That line is hard to do. Good stuff. Big Pun, right? Yeah, he was always my favorite MC. It was like Big Pun. Puerto Rico, too, by the way. And Cannabis, man, huge fan. Wu-Tang, you already know, fam. It looks familiar, but it says small. That's what's sad. Yeah, 1 mil while we bleeding under 40. Well, 1 mil is not a tomorrow prediction, family. That's just where Bitcoin is trending. And you're absolutely right. We're under 40. However, trust me, we will continue to rise and we will hit 1 million. In fact, I'll dare to say Bitcoin is more likely to hit $1 million than go to zero. If you guys agree, put a 1 in the live chat. If you think Bitcoin is more likely, meaning a better probability of hitting $1 million than going all the way down to zero, show me a 1. If you think Bitcoin is more likely to crash and go to zero and be worthless than it actually hitting $1 million, put a 2. And real quick, I want to see the sentiment. 1 million in yen. Potcoin, is that a real thing, JK? Let me know. Is Max Keiser on crack? Oh, hell no. In fact, it's his birthday today, so show him some respect. The high priest of Bitcoin's birthday, show him some birthday love as well. 1-1 from Joe, Thomas, John, Melda, Marcus, Brent, Crypto Sun, Balco Bulls. What it do? 1 mil. 2023 Senate 1. So everyone agrees with Michael Saylor because that's actually a quote from Michael Saylor. There you go. I was quoting the Giga Chad himself.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
Take that. Yes, keep the ones a coming, keep the interaction a coming, but I have a lot to share, so we got to dive into our next story of the day, discuss the latest TA, check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Here you see Bitcoin saw new 7-week lows on the January 22nd daily close as traders warned that worse was to come. Here looking at the Bitcoin 1-day candle chart. Now, data from TradingView showed a price drop of 39.4, sparking only a modest recovery. And in fact, we're about to lose 39 any moment now. Bitcoin faced consistent sell-side pressure from sources, including the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is the largest Bitcoin institutional investment vehicle, as part of consumer rotation amongst the new spot Bitcoin ETFs, now down up to 20% versus January highs. Bitcoin gave little inspiration to the traders, some of whom predicted new losses as liquidation mounted, quoting Arthur Hayes, still more to go. And also Keith Allen from Material Indicators shared the sentiment, uploading a chart of the short signals and longs from one of the platform's proprietary trading tools. He warned that the bulls needed to build some momentum as the current price is near 40 Gs. If not, a return to 38,000 could be next, which it seems like we're fast approaching. What are your thoughts? Now, a separate chart showing Bitcoin's bid liquidity for the largest global exchange, Binance. Meanwhile, or should I say Binance, as Janet Yellen calls it, Binance highlighted bidder interest immediately below the spot lows, but with sellers absent until 44,000. Now, Material Indicators additionally noted a class of Bitcoin whales, where my whales at, making sustained purchases throughout the past month, these amounting to 800 million. Now, charting the ongoing state flux amongst the fledgling spot Bitcoin ETFs, Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyfarth, can you say fart, suggested that GBTC was not yet out of the woods when it came to Bitcoin sales. GBTC sold a total of 640 million in Bitcoin just on January 22nd yesterday, canceling out previous signals that sales were slowing. Safeart nonetheless noted increasing inflows to other ETFs, notably BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, which gained 272 million on the day, its third biggest tally. You already know Lawrence Fink smiling all the way to the bank. And quoting Safeart, update, BlackRock numbers are in for the Bitcoin ETF Cointucky Derby. Third biggest inflow day for iBit, which is BlackRock, yet at 272 mil, only 76 million in net outflows for the day. So inflows are outpacing the outflows. Volume on the Bitcoin ETFs remained very strong, he added. Over 2 billion again today. GBTC still making up a bit more than half. Total volume for the first 7 trading days is just shy of 19 billion. Now quoting Marty Party, he says that the ETF selling should now begin to ease. He argued, quoting him here, 2.135 billion of shorts are set to get liquidated with a push to 42.5, and Binance will turn their attention to the short squeeze, fueling a FOMO rally, including participants from retail and new institutional players. Let me know if you agree or disagree with his sentiment. And here's the latest from Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model. If you're not familiar with the stock to flow, it ultimately predicts Bitcoin hovering between 100,000 to 1 million per coin between the next 2 halvings, with the first one coming in about 80 something days, Bitcoin halving 2024, and then the following halving in 2028. He shares here, Bitcoin consolidating a bit around 40 Gs, gaining strength for the next 50% plus jump towards 60,000. Now we're talking. I mean, I'm with him on this. I couldn't be more bullish right now. I think Bitcoin will hit its bottom, it'll bounce, and we'll be back recovered, stronger than ever. Still, the local high for the past, 22 months, virtually for the past 2 years, is, I think, when we hit 49,000. We got so close to 50 Gs, but unfortunately, I think it was an orchestrated sell-off. You already know they love suppressing the Bitcoin price action to the best of their abilities, and it seems like they accomplished that here with this massive sell-off. Do you think this was all engineered and orchestrated, or just all a big coincidence after we get the ETF approvals? Be honest. Let me know, fam. Bitcoin will replace the fiat 100%. Dollars are doomed. The death of the dollar, 100%. Never over 50 Gs again. Definitely, says Joe. Still 12,000 above where I bought my recent batch. I am still green. Congratulations, Jennifer. Stronger than ever. Love to hear it, Lit Crafty. What up? Deeb, GSD. If you follow history of Bitcoin, you're bullish this year. If you're not bullish, you haven't paid attention. You're probably not a Bitcoiner if that's the case, if you're not paying attention, right? That means you're not plugged into the pod. What are you doing with your life? What are we doing? Watching CNBC? Are we listening to the hucksters, Kramer? Who do you take advice from? BlackRock needed to stock up on Bitcoin. Now, new recent lows. Coincidence? I think not. Precisely, Thomas, because they need all the Bitcoin exposure they can get for their ETFs, and now they're being able to buy it at 39,000. Win, win, win for anyone accumulating. You know, Sailor right now is like,
Take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely...
You already know. The Bears definitely don't tune into my show. You know what I mean? Because this is hunting season, and there's plenty of... you already know. I am reminded of the movie book, The Big Short, but the opposite. The big jump, the big pump. If we don't bounce here, yeah, just stack more sats. One Bitcoin is still one Bitcoin. So that's never going to change. There is no second best. Crypto Pod, appreciate it, Dirty. I'm growing some dark devil and gorilla glue. Do your thing. They are manipulating the price to get cheaper sats. You know how they do. They don't want Bitcoin freaking going parabolic ultimately. And they figured this is how they can suppress it after the ETF hype. January 2024 fell $10,000 in a week. 1 million is impossible. So you say impossible. That's interesting. That's a very strong word. So do you think Bitcoin will just hit a certain level and just never go above? Like, are you saying there's a ceiling built into Bitcoin? Let me know if that's how you translate it, because I am curious. Because from my understanding, Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom, right? And all these fiat currencies are going to collectively go to zero against the apex predator. Before SBF, the ETF price fell from 69 to 15 Gs. It's inside whales. Stacking sats like it's November. Let's go, Jenga. Hello from Texas. Shout out, Junior. Dollars are evaporating. Would you rather hold those? Hell no. We rip those mofos up around here. We don't even wipe our butt with it because there's too many diseases and viruses, you know what I mean, on those dollars. Used for too many illicit activities, if you know what I mean. Too many traces of the coca plant on the dollars for it to touch my butthole. You understand? Rate cuts never happen again. It's all going to zero. Amen. This could be the bottom being in now. I'm pretty convinced. We shall see. I think we can potentially drop a little lower because there's a lot of momentum to the downside right now. But eventually we're going to pop. Max pain, bring it. Send it now. I want to see the max pain now, not later. Hello from Algeria, bro. Where's Richard Simmons when you needed him? How can the dollar be printed to infinity and Bitcoin stay flat? Bada boom, bada bing. Hashtag impossible. There's no such thing as impossible. Bitcoin has gained a zero from the all-time high every single halving. Preach. JV, in your best estimation, what is the second best crypto? I don't know now, guys.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
All right. If I had to say a second best, I'm going with Tether USDT because it's stable. So for those of you who need a stable currency that's a crypto, Tether USDT is the second best. There you go. Will it make you rich? No, it's a stable coin. But guess what? It won't become a melting ice cube and it won't get rugged. Those are the benefits of Tether USDT. So make sure, get all your capital out of fiat unless you want to lose it to hyperinflation as it has been, right? Go to the grocery store. I was discussing this with a friend the other day. You can't have a cart full of groceries for less than $300. It's practically impossible with the food prices, you know what I mean? So yeah, dollar's doomed. If you're not saving in Bitcoin, enjoy poverty. I feel the same. It's already hit 39,430, so I believe that is it. There is no second best. Tether is better than USDC. Facts. I don't trust USDC at all. Don't use them because they're not Bitcoiners. They're anti-Bitcoin people. They're pro-establishment. Anyone anti-Bitcoin, never support your oppressors. It's just like, why support your banking cartel that is, you know what I mean, taking control of you through money? Why support anything that is oppressing you at the end of the day? It's Doge. There's no. Isn't it tethered to a melting ice cube though? Yes, Steve, happened to me also this year, says Neo. Kevin, here's what's going to happen. Bitcoin will keep bleeding for a bit, then eventually get kicked down every more by self-custody. Elizabeth Warren Fudd. Appreciate all the thoughts and insights. Keep the comments coming. Wish Max Keiser happy birthday. It's his birthday today, the one and only high priest. Show him some love. And yeah, let's move on to our next story of the day, family. We got to be fast-paced today because I can't do a 2-hour stream like I normally would. But anyways, let's discuss Trump and his anti-CBDC stance. The headline reads, Trump will never allow the CBDC. Gives full credit to Vivek Ramaswamy, who recently basically endorsed Trump. Former president of the U.S. and current presidential candidate Trump. How many of you think Trump will win the 2024 presidential election? Holla. And has once again mentioned the topic of central bank digital currencies, given full credit to Vivek Ramaswamy, the former presidential candidate for the Republican Party who dropped out of the race after a disappointing... And it didn't even finish the sentence, so you finish it. During the rally in New Hampshire, January 22nd, Trump told the audience that Ramaswamy, the only presidential candidate with a crypto framework in his program, is that correct? I think RFK Jr. has some form of framework. Correct me if I'm wrong. Asked him to raise once again the question of tackling the potential CBDC in the United States. After the brief confession that he didn't like Ramaswamy until he defeated him, Trump repeated his recent claim that he would never allow the CBDC. Now, the first time Trump mentioned the CBDC was during a campaign speech in New Hampshire, January 17th. At the time, Trump said, I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency. Well, guess what? It's already created. So how are you going to stop it? There you go. Adding that such a currency would give the federal government absolute control over citizens' money. Correct. It's already created. It's just a matter of launching it. And in fact, it's launched in many different nations, including China, and they already have pilots launched in the United States. So I don't know what he's actually talking about, if he's just clueless, incompetent, or doesn't know anything. You tell me. And while Trump was not previously known for any nuanced stance on crypto, besides some negative comments about Bitcoin during his presidency, Vivek and Florida Governor DeSantis took up the subject in their presidential campaigns. This is fact. I've heard DeSantis talk about he's anti-CBDC. I've heard RFK Jr. and now Trump's kind of joining the bandwagon, and Vivek, of course. So kind of ironic. What do you think, family? Let me know. Now, both ex-candidates have now suspended their campaigns. Ram Sawani dropped out January 16th, endorsing Trump. And ironic enough, DeSantis did the same thing and ended his run January 21st after losing by a massive 21 points to Trump during the Iowa caucuses. Now, what's interesting, did you see that clip that went viral? Someone handed DeSantis a participation trophy. Funniest thing ever. DeSantis also confirmed his endorsement of Trump, who had repeatedly mocked the politician in the recent months. I mean, is there a politician Trump hasn't mocked? On January 19th, U.S. Representative Tom Emmer expressed his support for Trump's promise to fight CBDCs, claiming that he looks forward to working with Trump against the expanding government surveillance state. Emmer has spoken in favor of digital assets on many occasions and has a history of pushing back against the regulation by enforcement approach from the U.S. SEC and its chair, No Hair, Gare. So there you have it, family. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think, do you think presidents even have the power to say, we're not going to do the CBDC? Honestly, let me know. Because from my understanding, there's so many levels above the president. The president's the spokesperson for the country. It doesn't really make up any of the rules. So if the president, I don't want this. Well, obviously you don't understand how the president works. You know what I mean, you already know. Orange men will be orange pilled. Trump said he would send Hillary too. Yes, and he said, get the yep, and he'll go back in the U.S. and see a CBD. 100%. In fact, I'll keep it 100. Don't matter who's president, CBDCs are coming. So don't think the president has the power to stop the CBDC. There's governmental forces extremely more powerful than the president. We all know the president's not that powerful. Look at Biden. Perfect representation. Puppet, right? Every president is a puppet to some extent. However, there's one president I actually have tremendous respect for, current president, and his name's Nayib Bukele, right? Because he went against the IMF, said this, and he adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender, and I feel he has a genuine heart and is not corrupted or bought by any political party. I can't say the same thing about any other president that I know of. Eastern Canada now has a CBDC. Look it up. I'm telling you, they're already rolling them out. Trump's a top G. He speaks like a top G. Is he the top G? I don't know. You ask Andrew Tate, the original. Trillions already invested into getting them. Of course. They've been planned for so long, and the people who make the planning pull the strings, not the president. So he's just looking for brownie points, just like he said, if I'm president, I'm going to put crooked Hillary in jail. Well, crooked Hillary is still doing her thing. Her friends keep coming up missing. And even her husband, who has been to that one island, and we're not talking Gilligan's Island, just for clarity, over 50 times, nothing happened to him either, right? Nothing will happen to these people. They're all on the same team, is what I'm trying to say. Good morning, JV. Cheers, Juan. Appreciate it. Trump also said he would pardon Hillary. What? We need to get to Congress back. Cheers to that dankness. This is my favorite Bitcoin channel. JV keeps it simple and chill no matter what. No second best. Greatly appreciate that, Lisa. Tell your girlfriends to tune in as well. We need more women support cryptopreneurs here. Last I checked, our analytics showed we had like 93% gentlemen and only 7% ladies. I think we should have like at least 17% ladies, 27% ladies, so make it happen. CBDC, from enslavement to obliteration. Cheers, Bitcoin 36 Gs. Let's go. You guys can pray. Paul, cool. Guys, yes, it's true. Bitcoin hit all-time high for 4 days compared with Argentina's nation money. So I am one of the nations where inflation skyrocketed. Oh, are you in Argentina right now, Paul? Yes, Bitcoin hit an all-time high. That is true. Bitcoin continues making all-time highs around the world in different currencies, different countries. Bring facts. The Federal Reserve is not controlled by the federal government. Other way around. Same reason the Fed has not been audited, as Bernanke said. That would end the dollar. You already know facts. You're way too smart. So yeah, we need more chicks. Bring it. I'm ready. But anyways, family, next story of the day, hey? Let's discuss these Bitcoin ETFs and the latest data, what's going on in the ETF market. Bitcoin ETFs post 76 million in net outflows on a bad 7th day of trading. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen 76 million in net outflows in their 7-day trading, according to data from Bloomberg ETF analyst James Safart, as he shares right here. And continuing on, quoting him, 640 million flow out today. Outflows aren't slowing, they're picking up. This is the largest outflow yet for GBTC. Total out so far, 3.45 billion. Good Lord. And speaking of Cointelegraph, Safart said that overall, the flows into the spot ETFs remain positive, with BlackRock enjoying its 3rd largest day of positive flows thus far, netting a total of 272 million in inflows on the daily. Quoting him here, on a net basis, we have seen over 1.1 billion flow into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, even after accounting for the GBTC outflows. And Safart also admitted that the outflows from GBTC appeared to be unceasing at this time, and he expects GBTC-led dumping to cool off in the coming fortnight. So hopefully that means by tonight. And funny you mentioned fortnight. Much of the outflows from Grayscale's recently converted GBTC have been tied to outsized selling from the FTX estate, which is actually our next story of the day we're going to dive deeper into. But anyways, according to the January 22nd report, citing sources familiar with the matter, the FTX estate offloaded roughly 2/3 of its 22.8 million GBTC shares by January 22nd. See, this hit me by surprise. I didn't realize that FTX owned that many shares of GBTC. What about you guys? Now, the sale of the shares is estimated to account for roughly 600 million of the total net 3.4 billion in GBTC related outflows, quoting CJK. Since GBTC conversion to Bitcoin ETF, investors have sold more than 2 billion. FTX bankruptcy liquidation has led to over $1 billion in selling BTC. GBTC discount to NAV arbitrage trade led to over $1 billion. Selling the lock-in profits. All very interesting. The price of Bitcoin has fallen significantly, you can say that again, since the 10-spot ETFs were approved on January 10th, plunging from a high of over 49,000 to a low of 39-ish, which is right where we're at. Are we in the 38 range yet, fam? Let me know. Bitcoin is currently holding steady just above that 39-ish level. Now, notably, Bitcoin's downtrend price comes amid a sudden and sharp decline in the open interest on the Bitcoin futures exchange, suggesting a decline in enthusiasm amongst institutional investors to gain leverage exposed Bitcoin. Now, according to data from CoinGlass, as you can see here on your screen, open interest on the CME fell from a near record high of 6.4 billion on January 12th to 4.4 billion at the time of this publication. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Holla at your boy. Let me know your thoughts surrounding the latest Bitcoin ETF inflows and outflows. And yes, if you're gaining value, pump the likes. It really does help pump the stream and get more eyeballs on the channel. My goal is to get this channel where it belongs, above 100,000 subs, alongside $100,000 Bitcoin price. And with your help, we can make it a reality. Diamond hands, let's go. I am in that boat, but I am holding until it hits 50. Then what are you going to do when it hits 50? You're going to sell it for fiat and miss out on the run up to 150? Like, where's the logic? Marcel BlackRock down 80%. Digital crap. Is that an IPO? What does that even mean, D Johnny? What's an IPO? Is that like the iPhone, but like the poop version? Got the inside Argentinian scoop from my family. Let me know what to ask. Cheers, Benjamin. So your family's from Argentina, I see. I'm curious, what are their thoughts on Javier Milei and putting an end to the central bank and all that kind of stuff, hyperinflation? Where are the citizens putting their wealth? knowing that the Argentine, I think it's the peso, correct me if I'm wrong, is a victim of hyperinflation and becoming worthless. What are they talking about? What are the solutions? Whatever you can share with us. We appreciate the insights. Yeah, just borrow is what Saylor would do, 100%. He'll borrow $1 billion at practically 0% interest and just buy Bitcoin. It's called a speculative attack on fiat currency. Anyone hold 1 ounce of silver max coin? I think you're averaging 100 new subs a day. I mean, some weeks where we pump, man, I can get 600-700 subs in a day, maybe, you know, in that ballpark. But that's when we're pumping. However, when we're dumping like this, yeah, 100 subs a day is an average, unfortunately. Should be a lot higher. But we're averaging right now for the past 30 days, or past 28 days, it tells you in the analytics. I think it's just shy of 5,000 subs. We're somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 subs. Not too shabby. I'm not going to complain, but I know we can do a lot better. But I know when we bull, that's where everyone starts searching Bitcoin, crypto news, and yours truly will come up, and the channel will blow the frick up. Mark my words. Let's do this. Ready to party on the daily with Bart Simpson. Let's go. Yeah, man. Anyways, still got a lot to cover. Let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss this FTX dump, which has caused this carnage in the markets. So here we go. Headline reads, FTX estate sold most of its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares. Here's the latest report. The estate for failed crypto exchange FTX and hedge fund Alameda Research has sold more than 2/3 of its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares, according to a January 22nd report from Bloomberg. The report cited 2 people familiar with this matter as its source. The FTX estate may have raised at least $600 million as a result of the sale, quoting Rich Quack. What a cool username. FTX shocks the market with $1 billion Grayscale ETF sell-off, and Alameda drops the bombshell lawsuit against Grayscale. How interesting. FTX's bankruptcy estate offloaded approximately $1 billion of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF, shedding light on the recent GBTC outflows. Wow, and this is actually a pretty in-depth analysis. I'll continue. Since the conversion of GBTC into an ETF, investors have withdrawn over $2 billion, with FTX estate contributing significantly by selling 22 million shares. The approval of the new spot Bitcoin ETF saw funds like BlackRock and Fidelity gaining inflows, while GBTC experienced large pullouts. Not such a manly thing to do. Pulling out, you know what I mean? Bitcoin's price has dipped post ETF approval, contradicting optimistic predictions. The completion of the FTX sell-off could potentially reduce selling pressure. FTX capitalized on GBTC price disparities before, with holdings valued at $900 million on Grayscale's ETF's first NYSE trading day. And the last fact here, FTX's crypto assets managed by entities like Marex are under sale processes, while Alameda has dropped a lawsuit against Grayscale over fees. Man, this Alameda and FTX saga seems like it's never ending. So you already know. The report claims the FTX estate held 22 million shares. Now we're at 900 million of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust before January 11th. And when the trust was converted into the spot ETF, they sold more than 2/3 of its shares over the following 3 days of trading, the report stated, implying it now holds less than 8 million shares, worth roughly $281 million. Alameda sued Grayscale in March for charging what it considered to be exorbitant fees. As per the lawsuit, Alameda claimed Grayscale was enacting a self-imposed redemption ban that prevented shareholders from acquiring the Bitcoin held by its trust. Interesting. So they're saying they couldn't get the Bitcoin, they couldn't acquire it from the trust. They were preventing them to do so. And you guys don't think your Bitcoin ETF can be confiscated. Interesting. Most investors had no means of redeeming their shares for the trust's underlying Bitcoin prior to January 11th, and the trust share price was 44% below that of the Bitcoin which it represented as of June 15th. However, redemptions for authorized participants were opened on January 11th, after the US SEC approved Grayscale Trust to be converted into the ETF. And as the expected date of approval drew closer, the GBTC shares discount versus net asset value fell to 1.55%, according to data from YCharts. This made the price of these shares more closely aligned with the value of Bitcoin they represented. GBTC is now only 0.27% below its net asset value per share. So more than 700 million of Bitcoin has been sold by the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust since January 11th, family. in the past 12 days, with some analysts claiming investors are fleeing the fund because of what they see as high fees. In fact, the fees are 1.5%, and they are by far larger than some of the lowest fees for the ETFs from some of the asset managers, as low as I think I saw 0.18%, which is less than 0.2%. So they're like 7-8x higher than some of the competition, which is kind of insane. So there you have it, crypto fam. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think the carnage is likely to continue? Do you think the FTX and Alameda carnage is over? Let me know your thoughts. Super cycle incoming, says Jennifer. Send it. Nuck, how much would a Kathy chuck if a Kathy could chuck wood? Wow, that's a great conundrum there, brother. Wow, man. I got another one. I saw a saw in Arkansas that outsaw any saw ever saw. If you saw the saw that I saw back in Arkansas, let's see your saw outsaw the saw that I saw back in Arkansas. How you like that? Speaking of ARK Invest, ARK and saw. What's the best ETFs? Man, and let's not get it twisted. There's a massive difference between Bitcoin ETF and Bitcoin self-custody. Bitcoin ETF is ultimately where you don't hold the underlying asset. An asset manager or a custodian holds it for you. And when you self-custody your Bitcoin and you own the private keys, it's unconfiscatable. Done deal. What up, JV? What up, Freddie G? What it do? Appreciate you guys. What up? What up? Flying Tiger in the building. What did I just hear? That's why there's those ladies on here. Says that there are ladies on here. There are ladies. We got about, for every 100 people, there's roughly 7 ladies. So be respectful. JB, you have to say the only thing that pulls out in your house is your couch. I don't have recliners, bro. So it would be inaccurate. That's hilarious, though. I booked at 52.3 CAD. Is that Canadian dollars? It's showing me the average buy at 53. Whoa. Whoa. I never smelt a smelt like that. Bull back. You guys are a trip, man. Truly.
Really love the thing that you don't want to sell it. Go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works.
Yes, Paula, we got to keep it PG-13. This is a family-friendly podcast. It's not until we get to Rumble for the uncensored version where the kids are not allowed. I keep it 100. There's a family show. You know what I mean?
Works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
Tell him, Michael, can you do a BTFD watch? Yeah, we're not going to call it dump watch. It sounds better, BTFD watch. Like buy that freaking dip watch. We can do them. However, today I can't. Busy day today. So later on in the week, potentially, if we continue dumpage and there's a lot of carnage, we can have a BTFD party. Why not? Just like we have the pump watch parties. I think a lot of people would tune in. What do you guys think? If we had a BTFD correction party or whatever you want to call it, would you guys tune in? Because that's the key. I don't do this for my health. I really do it all for you guys. Find your wife on the Crypto Alerts news. Now we're talking, Norm. Now we're talking. That'd be perfect. It's going up forever, Laura. Put your socks on when your money mouth is. What does that mean? Put your sock where your money mouth is. Okay. Dumb watch is happening on Casper every day. What's a dumb watch? Oh, I see. C-SPAN. There you go. Dump watch. Bitcoin dump watch. We're going to watch Bitcoin go to zero. I can see someone like a Solaway doing that. Like, I told you guys, we're going to 12,000. I told you. Yeah, not JB. Party watch. There you go. I like that, Paula. Party watch. Anyways, family, next story of the day. You guys are hilarious. We're going to be discussing these bull market narratives that you haven't heard yet, 3 specifically. Let's discuss these. Where shall we start here? Number 1, 2024 will be the year of the battling amongst chain development kits, CDKs, super chains, layer 3s, and app chains. It appears Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum, and others have learned from Ethereum. This year will be a pivotal period where major layer 2s evolve beyond their current roles, establishing interconnected ecosystems of their own. Interoperability Bring it. Do you like those whispers here and there or no? Keep it real. Let me know. A clear example of this was last year's launch of Flipkart, an online store based in India. Instead of launching a project on the Polygon network, they launched their own blockchain using Polygon's CDK. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Similar to Flipkart, Immutable X and Libra are also following this playbook and launched their very own chains on Polygon CDK, focused on games and RWAs, respectively. This is a very strategic for the entire ecosystem. These companies launching their chains create a platform for the other companies to build upon, and they capitalize from that. These other companies entering Web3 now have a selection of blockchains with specific characteristics to meet their needs, and Polygon evolves from just a general list blockchain to an ecosystem of various blockchains with specific jobs to be done and connected with liquidity. Now, curious, how many of you are actually bullish on Polygon / Matic? I know it as a layer 2 scaling solution for the Ethereum blockchain to reduce those fees, because still the gas fees are pretty outrageous. I wonder if they're going to have a solution to that anytime soon. Let me know your thoughts. Now, next factor, Bitcoin is undergoing an etherization with ordinals. Interesting headline. In 2023, the Ordinals protocol popularized the use of the Bitcoin network for creating NFT collections and issuing fungible tokens, which we know as NFTs. Although Bitcoin NFTs are fun and are generating a lot of volume in the current market, the main value that the Ordinals protocol brought to Bitcoin was to open Pandora's box. Discussions about other ways to use Bitcoin beyond being a store of value started to gain traction widely for the first time in history. And in this context, there's solutions like BVM, which already allow the creation of Bitcoin layer 2s using networks such as Polygon and Celestia for data availability, and Polygon and Optimism for execution functions. How many of you have ever used Celestia, Polygon, or Optimism, or bullish on them? Let me know. Approximately 200 test nets were already created from the BVM infrastructure, and it's worth mentioning that other Bitcoin layer 2s like Stacks, shout out to Stacks, JV bullish on Stacks, are also gaining a lot of traction since last year. Besides that, there's also proposals for an upcoming Bitcoin update aiming to bring more programmability to the network, such as OPCat proposal. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Anyways, therefore, it's evident that in the short term, there are significant developments aimed at introducing layer 2s and smart contracts to Bitcoin, and that discussions are already underway to extend this for the long term. Now, let's discuss digital identities will take off. The topic of digital identities is a topic that interests both governments and the crypto underground. Central bank digital currencies are one of the primary catalysts. Not a fan, family. Not a fan. In Brazil, for example, the central bank has been actively conducting tests with the country's largest banks and major companies, including Visa, Microsoft, MasterCard, and AWS. Meanwhile, Trump doesn't even think CBDCs are created. He says, I'm not going to allow them to create them. Guess what? They already have them. While the initial applications are financial, the president of the Brazilian central bank, Roberto Campos, suggests DREX, Brazil's CBDC, could eventually serve as the foundation for the creation of digital identities. No, thank you. I prefer not to have the mark of the beast. What about you guys? Another 130 countries are also working on a CBDC initiative. 130 more countries, meaning every country will eventually have their own CBDC. Mark my words. Maybe not El Salvador. I hope not. Outside the institutional sector, the second trend that could further encourage the adoption of digital identities: airdrops. Generally, a project initiates an airdrop to decentralize its governance, rewarding users who are most engaged with its product or protocol. However, this has led to a problematic cycle. Yes, projects continually tease users with hints of imminent drops and point systems, prompting some users to create multiple wallets to farm the protocol, and other users, driven by an anxiety, pressure founders with constant inquiries about forthcoming airdrops. Also, a lot of the people who launch the airdrops are very misleading, and things never go according to plan. I try to participate in some over the years, and nothing has ever gone according to plan, and I feel like you just get scammed. So be careful out there. I'm not calling all airdrop scams, but oftentimes They use airdrops to scam you, so be careful. So to address this, the issue to create a substantial method, future major airdrops may incorporate a validation layer based on digital identities. Although Linea has not confirmed any airdrops, it recently offered a series of quests within the ecosystem. For ongoing participation, users needed to link their wallets. That's where I'm like, oh no, I'm not linking my wallet to anything, because anything I link it to can be sus and somehow magically liquidate your wallet. So be careful out there. For me, it's like, yo, I'm not connecting my wallet to anything. That's why I lost it in a boat in accident. It is what it is. What are you going to do about it? But yeah, anyways, family, I'm going to check the comments here. 2024, let's go. Ethereum is a test net for Bitcoin. There you go, JK. Coinbase dumped 2.14 billion in Bitcoin. Maybe that's why the price is dumping. That doesn't help. I wonder if that's as a result of the FTX estate, or if that's just additional Bitcoin being dumped. Why is Doge estimated to have a huge pump this year? Do you think Elon is going to accept Doge? People are like, Elon's going to put Doge on the moon. Yeah, no comment. JV, when 696 party, man, that's actually a pretty good number. 696,000 per coin. I like that. Whenever, bro. You want to help me throw the party? That why you're asking, Nuck? Let's do it. 696969. Bro, I'm coming to find out that you listen to all the good lyrics too out there. You already know, Benjamin, I'm a true hip hop head, so that was my life. Feels like a lifetime ago, but my life was hip hop when I was younger. So yeah. 58,000 by February 11th. Send it, Norm, by JV's birthday. I'm all for that. 58 G's. Even 50,000 by February 11th. That's getting me pretty lit, be honest with you. Lyricists. Yes. So my favorite rappers are the best lyricists. 100%. Bitcoin is the digital gold. Monero is the money in private cash. Shout out Monero. 42,000 says Lumina. What's that prediction? Is that income in 42 G's? Bitcoin is a SegWit fork, says Zugbug. How many of you use SegWit in your wallets? Let me know. Curious. Hi, my greetings from Venezuela. See, etc. for the 4-hour. Simon. Cheers, family. 50,000 by February 2nd. By Jennifer's birthday. Send it. Done deal. 1, 2, 4, 5. What is that? 124.5 Bitcoin bought today. ETF issuers so far. GBTC is excluded. Oh, good to note. Thank you. Shout out to Gary Simkis. I appreciate you subbing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod family. Let's go. Stretch and Blob is going strong on Apple Radio. Nice. Bobito. I don't know Bobito. Stretch and Bobito. Rappers NWA. Bitcoiners with attitude. BWA. I was hoping that the 100K party would be this summer. Now I'm thinking we may have to go back to work. Womp womp. We'll keep the hope alive. We're very still possible, and in my mind, likely to still hit 100,000 this year. By summer, honestly don't know, but I think we'll hit it this year. Holla if you're an Aquarius. Holla if you hear me. Yes, holla. Simon Rodriguez, thanks for subbing, family. I'm a Cancer, says facts. Aquarius represent. 5 February 2024 starts COPA versus Wright in the UK High Court. I'm not happy. I have to do chores. Oh no. Don't feel bad, JV. As a father, I have to do chores every day as well. So welcome to the club. We're not immune from chores. Jupiter in Aquarius. I appreciate the astrology for the men out here. We do astrology for men each and every day. What's JV? Bye. You already know. Aquarius, love to hear that, Jennifer. Crypto is moving up fast. Moving on up. I bought 5 Bitcoin in 2014, then bought a 630 BMW Sports Coupe for 0.1 Bitcoin in 2022. So it actually cost me 26, about $30 in cowboy money. Love the show, brethren. Cheers, Kevin Tyler. Appreciate that. Nipsey Hussle would... Hustle was very bullish on crypto and Bitcoin. He spoke about it often before he was murdered. Shout out Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. My rescue pup was named after Nipsey, hence why his name is Nipsey. Hope your daughter gets well, Jennifer, says Jose. First time on the Uncensored Rumble, your yesterday stream. Likes the truth talk. I appreciate that, Jerry. The uncensored version on Rumble, always lit because JV gets to speak his mind, and there's a lot of ish on my mind I wish I can speak out about on the tube, but I get an opportunity to do so on the Rumble. But anyways, family, we still got a lot more to cover. So actually, let's dive in to our $1 million price prediction, the latest from Max Keiser. Also, I have a bonus prediction coming from crypto analytics platform by the name of Glassnode. I like to follow their stuff. They're pretty good. And I'm going to be sharing the latest from Max. And real quick, show Max some love in the comments. Happy birthday, I wrote to the high priest of Bitcoin, the one and only. He retweeted it. Greatly appreciate this man. Helped transform my life, and I got a lot of respect for the high priest. But before I get into the latest predictions from Max with Bitcoin hitting $1 million and all that stuff, first I want to read you this analysis from Glassnode. And shout out to this, is that a beaver? A hamster? Is that the, what kind of animal is that? Or is that the honey badger? I'm curious. Let me know. Kind of cute with that Bitcoin. Anyways, Glassnode thinks Bitcoin could be primed for a parabolic rise if Bitcoin repeats a particular pattern. Jan Happel and Jan Alman, the Glassnode founders, share the basically that draws attention to the quote, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. You hear that often on the show as well, which is often attributed to Mark Twain. Oh, wow. I didn't know Mark Twain was the originator. Anyways, according to them, Bitcoin looks poised to replicate a pattern witnessed during the last two bull markets. As Bitcoin creates the bull flag of the weekly chart, quoting them here, Bitcoin has moved to the 6.618 Fibonacci extension after the bull flag correction. We're currently in a small correction like in late 2017 and late 2020. Will history rhyme in 2024 and Bitcoin move to the 6.1618 Fibonacci in this bull market? That would give us a target of roughly 120,000 per coin. Look at that parabolic ascent. It's like Michael Jordan in his prime jumping from that, the free throw line, dunking it. Let's go. Anyways, that's pretty lit. Now, traders use Fibonacci extensions and technical analysis, aka astrology for men, estimate profit targets and price pullbacks, and they're based on Fibonacci ratios. With Bitcoin trading now around 39,000, Bitcoin's market cap also down. Of course, everything is down right now. The Glassnode co-founders appear bullish on equities. They also share trend following is a strong investment strategy. Ask yourself, why am I bearish? Equities and current technical setup. The NASDAQ just surpassed the former all-time highs. It is above the 3-month simple moving average and the 12-month simple moving average. The 3-month is above the 12-month. The relative strength index, the RSI, is at 66. The MACD, which is the moving average convergence divergence, is bullish and rising. Someone needs to throw that in a rhyme, some bars. Moving with the average convergence divergence. Anyways, from a trend following perspective, why would I expect a crash here? And I think they're right. I'm not anticipating a larger crash. The RSI measures the price momentum of an asset on a scale of 0 to 100. A level of 30 and below indicates oversold conditions, while a reading of 70 and above suggests overbought conditions. Meanwhile, the MACD is traditionally used to spot trend reversals and confirm the trends. Now let's get into the latest from Keiser. Stacy Herbert wrote, happy birthday, my love. And then again, I just shared happy birthday to the high priest of Bitcoin, the one and only Max Keiser. And Max actually responded, showing Stacy some love. I've made only one truly great decision in my life. February 13th, 2 days after my birthday. That's me. 2003, less than 10 seconds after seeing her smile, I decided to absolutely just marry Stacy Herbert. Now, definitely my favorite power couple. True love is very rare in this world, so much respect to Max and Stacy, my favorite Bitcoin couple. Now, he also wrote 1 year ago today, January 23rd, on my birthday, I discussed with Bukele these 5 topics, all of which he resoundingly rejected. Number 1, shorten the El Salvador national anthem from 4 minutes to 2 minutes. 2, ban restaurants from wrapping utensils in paper napkins so tightly you destroy the napkin when you unwrap the knife and fork. How many can relate to that one? Number 3, mandate all pupusas must be fried in beef tallow. I don't know nothing about that life as a vegetarian, but anyways. Number 4, install a 300 feet welcome to El Salvador billboard with a picture of Max and Stacy at the airport. I'm all for that one. That'd be pretty lit. And number 5, outlaw driving more than 50 miles per hour under the speed limit. And mandate all Salvadorans must demonstrate they know how to drive through roundabouts. So obviously Max has some pet peeves, but just having some fun here. This was actually his picture celebration with Bukele last year. They had a cake. Happy birthday, Max. I'm curious if he's kicking it with Bukele today to celebrate his special day. And show Max some love, please, in the comments. If you follow me on X, retweet my post showing him some birthday love. Let's spread the word, because he has done so much for Bitcoin, being the first one to actually introduce Bitcoin to a global audience via the Keiser report with Stacy Herbert back in 2011, when Bitcoin was somewhere between $1 and $10, which is unheard of. Now, Keiser also wrote, capitulation is here. The fiat money world has thrown in the towel. Now, the few with resources are building Bitcoin positions as fast as possible under $1 million. BTC. That's right. In this headline, why Bitcoin is up by almost 150% this year, introducing the cockroach theory of crypto, because you can't kill it, and that don't kill us only makes us stronger. You know what I mean? Quoting Max here, Bitcoin is designed to be attacked. When the EU says we need to attack the price of Bitcoin, that's music to Bitcoiner ears, because all attacks mean a greater hash rate, greater security, and higher prices. It's designed to be attacked. The more you attack it, the higher the price goes. So we welcome the EU attacks and the IMF, Christine Lagarde, and central banks and Federal Reserve Bank. Please attack me so that my price can go to $100,000, $200,000, $1 million per coin. Thank you. Send it. So yes, please attack Bitcoin and make it stronger. I'm with you on that. He also shared, this is a throwback. I shared it on October 30th, quoting him, all fiat money and gold eventually goes to effectively zero. Against Bitcoin, because it's demonetizing gold. The same way gold demonetized silver, Bitcoin will be demonetizing gold. So sure, gold will maybe go to 2, 3, 4,000 an ounce, but we're talking about Bitcoin eventually going to $5 million to $10 million per coin. So your purchasing power in gold terms is almost basically nothing compared to what's happening in Bitcoin. It's all going to zero against the apex predator. You already know, family. Now, in an interview with Swan, Max revealed just 1% of these total addressable market will cause the price of Bitcoin to skyrocket. So let's discuss this. With Bitcoin, it's kind of the end of price discovery, because everything will be priced in Bitcoin eventually. Everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. And so for someone like myself who has been following this for 40 years, the finance markets, technology, Bitcoin is the holy grail. It is the end all. I would say my compatriot in all of this, Michael Saylor. When you hear Michael Saylor talk, he talks about the aesthetics of Bitcoin, the beauty of Bitcoin, and he speaks about it in a way I think carries the torch from the Max and Stacy Herbert of 2011. And he started buying it, I guess, somewhere between 10 and 12,000 or so in the 2020 era. We were there from 2011 to 2020. I think he's kind of carried the torch from 2020 in a lot of ways, introducing Bitcoin to massive pools of capital. I am surprised that more companies haven't followed his lead, giving the upbreak in inflation we have had exactly as he predicted it. The melting ice cube, as he called it at that time, is exactly what happened. Well, I guess we can say now, we're now in the era where BlackRock and these other major institutions are now looking at Bitcoin. So his work on the institutional level, I guess, is bearing fruit now 3 years later. Facts. Now, I see in the Middle East, they're starting to recognize Bitcoin. Preach. I've been covering that all week, family. So that's a huge pool of capital. I think all that oil money will find its way into Bitcoin and be a huge catalyst for higher prices. Tell them it's a natural way for the oil industry to diversify their portfolio, because Bitcoin is essentially energy, and the energy eventually gets priced in Bitcoin. And there is a marriage between these two in a big way. Precisely what I just covered in yesterday's episode. They're tokenizing oil and partnering. You had the largest banks of the world partnering with the biggest oil companies to get into digital assets. So just as he predicted several months ago, I think that's kind of the answer, he says. I have also always fascinated by the price discovery in markets and the architecture of how the markets work under the hood. Bitcoin is such a pristine, perfect money, and I think it's something that humans have been searching for since forever, Laura. And now we're seeing it change society on really a fundamental level with the introduction of BTC. A lot of people are freaking out because of it. It destroys the status quo. And a lot of people have been waiting for it to come along, had the faith that humanity can be saved. They see Bitcoin in those terms. So you have this split going on, which is very exciting. So it just continues on. And how can it not be, how could not someone be interested in it? I think the people who were into it earlier and walked away just never got it from the beginning. Once it's categorized as an asset class, we have nothing to do except accept our position and position ourselves in the asset class. Either we're going to be a small position or a big position, but we cannot ignore it. We cannot not have a position. So even 1% of that multi-hundred trillion dollar funds available moves the needle on Bitcoin, moving it up considerably. So if we get into the 5 to 10% range, then you start to really see it raise ahead to the 7-figure type predictions that people have been making, including myself, because Bitcoin is an asset class. On the flip side, we have what we saw in the gold market, which is the ability to control price discovery. Manipulating the prices is real through derivative markets. So the price of gold has been lagging inflation for 20 years because the governments around the world don't like gold making their fiat money look bad. Tell them. So they make it easy for huge funds to manipulate the price of gold and to scalp and to continuously skim profits off of gold, which is what they do almost every day. You can watch it and see it pretty clearly. And they are very good at keeping the price of gold and silver down. There's something like for every ounce of silver, there's probably 50 ounces worth of derivatives floating in various exchanges around the world that are used to keep the price of silver down because governments don't want gold to race ahead to draw capital out of their fiat money scam and into gold. That's right. You think they're going to let gold hit $100,000 an ounce? Then everyone would trade their dollars for gold and the dollar would effectively collapse and go to zero. They got to protect their dollar, make sure they have a strong US dollar. And you do that by suppressing the precious metal markets. Hence, exactly what they do. He called it. With Bitcoin, we have the ability to pull our private keys, which is not really available with gold. Take that, Peter Schiff. Technically, people can take delivery of gold on these exchanges, but there's never been an organized attempt to do so. We tried to do it a few years ago. It crashed JP Morgan buy gold and silver because after the 2008 financial crisis, when JP Morgan ended up buying Bear Stearns effectively for nada, they inherited this huge multi-million short position that Bear Stearns was managing at the behest of presumably the government. The government likes to stay involved. They sure do. And so I did some calculations and it became clear that if this short position was not covered and the price of silver got to $60, $70 an ounce, it would bankrupt JP Morgan. So we started this crash JP Morgan buy silver campaign and we got the price of silver from $15 up to $50. So we got it up to the old Hunt Brothers $50 level. Then the Fed, of course, came in and they changed the laws overnight to make it possible for these banks, JP Morgan, to have and carry much greater short positions in silver. So they printed up a lot of paper silver derivatives and they stopped the run on their bank and the price went back down to $15 or so. So we have seen that it is possible to force capitulation in the silver market. But at the end of the day, because the ability to pull private keys is not like it is with Bitcoin, I don't think it'll ever succeed. Whereas with Bitcoin, you can pull your private keys. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Shout out to Rudy LaPlane. I appreciate that super family, love and light. The Bitcoin hasn't done anything in 2 years since the repetitive nature of the cycle will come under scrutiny, says Reginald Thorne. Messier, they have issues with maintaining the wealth for their country. What country are you referring to? Maintaining a steady Bitcoin supply maintains wealth. It sounds like a status quo that needs utility. Yeah, you guys got to let me know because I'm just tuning into the chat, so I kind of missed the previous conversation there, family. Let me know. I'm going to stick around and do some live Q&A just for a little bit, and then we're going to head on over to Rumble for a little bit. And again, I can't do a 2-hour stream today. In a perfect world, I love doing the 2-hour streams, but I got to end it a little early today, family. So any questions, holla. Bitcoin is, what does that say? Clubbing? Clubbing? What does that mean? Gain, loss, buy more, gain. Look at those candles. Seems like somebody or entity is starting to buy. Let's go. Pump it up. Good morning, HODL fam. Shout out Bone Daddy. What it do, fam? Holla at your boy.
Bitcoin. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset.
Tell them, hey, brethren, anyone here want to swap 500 silver American Eagles for Bitcoin? No. JV, good to see you. Cheers, Zach. Hello from Qatar. Wow. Any insights from the government of Qatar? Sovereign Wealth Fund, Bitcoin, crypto, adoption, ETFs, any inside information, boost and flow? Holla at your boy. Shout out Qatar. Rumble for the R stream. You already know. There's no second best. Following the same chart as Myro did, big bounce. Bring it. That's good. That's good. Maybe that's the bottom. I'm going through a divorce. Show me your country or state. I think everyone should come to Puerto Rico and check it out. Take a visit, take a cruise, see if you like it. If it's a good vibe for you, maybe relocate here and take advantage of some of the tax laws out here as well. I sold my silver and bought Bitcoin this month. Cheers, Bone Daddy. Qatar already positioned. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's go. You heard it first. Qatar, baby. $500 billion Bitcoin buy. Send it. Let's go. JV, shout out, another great show. You already know, smoking one for you. Appreciate that. Just make sure it's at least 7 grams in honor of JV. Like one of those big fatties. You know what I mean? Like a Wiz Khalifa fatty. Status quo, sovereign treasury paying excess to make their name. It will come. Yeah. Hey, Qatar, pile in that Bitcoin. Qatar, like the UAE, been stacking for time. Family first, JV. 100%. Cheers, Frank the Tank Degen. Make my day. Say, Ashley Zoe loves you. Ashley Zoe loves you. Cheers to smart choice. I got you. Lost my first wallet. Didn't have a backup of the keys. Didn't have much on it. And it was worth a little at the time. But today it's currently worth more than what I have in 2 years. Oh, sorry to hear that. Man. I hear you, Dark. 7% cap gains on top of it. All now. 500 Silver Eagles is only worth about 11,000. No, don't think I will. Thanks for breaking that down, Jennifer. Why don't my messages come in? Looks like your messages came in just fine, Michael. If there's a particular message being censored, it just could be the YouTube algorithm. You know, YouTube is Google gatekeepers of the truth. There's certain things you really can't talk about. There is no freedom of speech on this platform. It's a mirage. Rumble, we got some freedom of speech. Twitter, X, yeah, we got some freedom of speech. Google, YouTube, Yeah, where you sell your silver, brethren. She missed it. Well, my Qatar slowly weeps. What up, Jerry? However, unlike UAE, Qatar still hasn't allowed its people to stack officially. Central bank doesn't allow any crypto activity. So you're saying the state of Qatar or the nation stacking sats, but they're not allowing their people? That kind of sucks, if that's true. I got to get verification. You guys let me know, anyone living in Qatar, if that's true. Going to El Salvador in a few months to experience Bitcoin country culture. Man, I'm jealous in a good way. Enjoy yourself, Juan Romero. I can't wait to visit El Salvador as well. I definitely plan a trip out there this year. For sure. I'd love to link up with Max and Bukele. That's on my bucket list as well. What nation is the biggest hodler? Maybe the nation of the United States? I guess. I don't know. Where's Satoshi from? Is he from the UK? They said he had a British accent in his speech patterns, like from his typing. What do you guys think? Nipsey licking his Satoshis? Yeah. You know, if you had that skill, you'd do the same. Do you think ETH will go lower than 5% of a Bitcoin, like the 2% or 5% be the lowest? Honestly speaking, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum will do fantastically well this cycle. And they'll both do tremendous. Which one will outpace the other? It's all speculation. Previous cycles, Ether, since the inception, has always outpaced Bitcoin because it was invented years later, right? So will this cycle, will Bitcoin finally outpace Ethereum? I don't know. I like to believe so, but honestly, I'd tell you I don't know. Dude, no. PR sounds awesome. It's snowing like hell here. I know. Even my mom in Florida, she's like, it's so cold here. I'm like, is it really that cold in Florida right now? I'm like, it's hot as hell in Puerto Rico. Sunshine, beautiful, Caribbean weather year round. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be, family. You got to check it out. Yes, 100% living in Qatar. Oh, good to know. The investment authority will have Bitcoin positions, but it is not disclosed publicly. That makes sense because if they did disclose that publicly, then JV wouldn't be the only one talking about it. Every YouTuber would be, and the pump would be pretty serious. Bitcoin will always be greater than ETH. Oh, of course. Different technology, different use cases. Bitcoin is the ultimate store of value. You can't even consider Ethereum as a store of value because it doesn't have a disclosed finite supply. It's infinite according to CoinMarketCap. So therefore, it's not a store of value. It's not decentralized. There's attack vectors. They can change the protocol. They already have. You know what I mean? So it's like, Also, because it's no longer proof of work and it's proof of stake, it could be deemed an unregistered security. clearly Gensler and the SEC is trying to deem everything except Bitcoin as an unregistered security. And even the one commodity that gets the green light, he's still attacking. So there is a war against crypto. Don't get it twisted. ETH will flip Bitcoin. You referring to the market cap or the price? JV star sign. I'm Aquarius. And in Chinese astrology, it's a boar, which is a pig, 1983. Gotta go. Keep stacking. Deuces. Appreciate y'all. I got to go too. So appreciate the reminder. I'm looking at the time. I want to spend a few minutes on Rumble for the uncensored version of the show just to kick it for a little bit. Head on over to Rumble right now and let's get this mofo lit. Pump the likes to help pump the stream, especially if you gain value out of today's episode. I'll be back tomorrow around the same time. We're going to be going early all week. Next week, we'll be back to our normal time, which is typically 3 p.m. Eastern. So head on over to Rumble. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. There's always a link in the description, or just open up the Rumble app and type in Crypto News Alerts. You can't miss the stream. See you there. Uncensored JV. Adios. Bada boom, bada bing.